Happy Chinese New Year and thank you for tuning in to our live stream today. I'm Tianran, host of Travelog on CGTN, and right now we're in Gubei Water Town, just 2 hours outside of Beijing to celebrate the Chinese New Year. Now, if you'd like to take a look around us, it is packed today, very, very festive. It's currently the 4th day of the Chinese New Year celebration. Now, typically the celebration itself lasts for 15 days, from Spring Festival Eve all the way until Lantern Festival. But we have a 7-day national holiday from the start of Spring Festival. And so this is the 4th day that everyone has been staying at home, having time off work. And of course, as you can see today, I think a lot of people are fed up with staying at home. We've all come out to ring in the new year. And the reason I've turned your attention to these 3 gongs is because here people are literally ringing in the new year. There are 3 Chinese characters there. On the right it says Hao as in good, in the middle Yun as in luck, and on the left Lai, which literally means comes. Good luck comes or arrives. Let's see if I can also get a chance to ring in the new year for everyone who's watching at home. And of course, make sure to comment, tell us how everything looks to you, and also let me know if we have any audio or signal issues, because there are a lot of people here today. If we do experience technical issues, let us know, and apologize in advance if our signal drops at any time. But we will try and be back with you as soon as possible whenever that happens. Okay, I think maybe we might be able to get a turn very soon, very soon. This is definitely a must. You know the phrase ringing in the new year. This is very literally ringing in the new year. We were doing our live stream yesterday too, and it was also very festive, but not as many people. And towards the latter end of the Spring Festival celebration, we can expect this to get even more eventful. All right, Happy Chinese New Year. Good luck. Has just arrived. All right, let's show everyone else around Gubei Water Town. 新年快乐. Right, so Gubei Water Town, for those of you who have not been here before, is sort of like a themed resort in a way. It's about 2 hours drive out of Beijing, and it's sort of designed as a water town, the kind of water towns that you often see in southern China. It's just that in the north here, where it's very cold, we don't tend to have water towns because the water freezes over. So this is sort of like a theme park for adult children like myself. As you can see, food stalls absolutely everywhere. We've got, I think it's fried squid over there. Here they're selling, I'm not going to get in the queue, it's going to take forever. Here they're selling what's known as niangao. So niangao literally means glutinous rice cake, but it also has, there's a bit of wordplay. Nian means year, and gao also means high. So to eat niangao during Spring Festival means that you'll climb even higher this Chinese New Year. Everything is full of symbolism here. This I had yesterday. It's very delicious. It's hawthorn ice cream. But I just want to pop inside the store and grab a very traditional snack that people love here in the north, and I'll show you what it is just in a moment. Very busy in here as well. Let's see if I can find one. It's almost sold out in here. Thank you very much. Here we go. This is my favorite. This is what's known as candied haws. It's the fruits of the hawthorn tree, and if you just eat it fresh, it's very tart. Not very tasty at all, and it's full of seeds, but when they dip it in this caramelized sugar and then it freezes over, it becomes this incredible, my mouth is watering right now, incredibly flavorful snack that is huge in winter here in northern China. You see people eating it all the time, all sorts of kids like myself holding candied haws. So let me just dig in real quick. Oh, love it. That crunch is the best. Sorry for talking with my mouth full. I know it's not good manners. It's just incredibly delicious. And there's a really interesting tale about the hawthorn. So, supposedly, this snack was originally invented for, I believe, an imperial concubine who wasn't feeling very well. She lost her appetite, and a folk doctor, a TCM doctor, traditional Chinese medicine doctor, suggested that she eat candied haws 3 times a day to get her appetite back. And lo and behold, obviously it worked, and it became an imperial favorite. But after common folk heard of this, obviously they want to eat it too. So over time, this became a very, very much loved snack here in northern China. Over here, it's all about food for Spring Festival. Over here we have, what is this? It's kind of like a Chinese sandwich. I believe it's rou-jia-mo, which is actually becoming quite popular abroad now. It's often marketed as the Chinese burger, and I believe people here, they're waiting for something else. They're waiting for wonton. And those of us who have never been to China, you likely would have also heard of wonton anyway, because it's very popular abroad. It's sort of shaped like dumplings, and they're also full of meaning. They're round, which symbolizes reunion, unity, and they're very tasty. So as we make our way over here, as you can see, the architecture here is very interesting. Everything has been designed in the Ming and Qing dynasty style. So the Qing dynasty was the last dynasty of China, which ended about 100 years ago. And if you come to northern China, to traditional villages and towns, you'll see this sort of grey brick architecture everywhere with these very intricate wooden roof decorations and these ceramic tiles. Very typical of northern China. Over here, we've got a very cute sculpture of a couple of kids looking into a big vat full of money. Over here in China, we don't use cash and coins as much anymore. Everything's pretty much virtual, so this is almost a throwback. The reason they have this statue here, and the reason you see all of these fish lanterns too, is because in Chinese, fish are also rife with symbolism. In Chinese, fish is pronounced yu, which sounds very similar to the word surplus. So for Chinese New Year, you'll often eat fish to show that you'll have a surplus of good food, of good wealth, of good fortune in the coming year. And inside, we were there yesterday, but we won't go there today. They have lots of tanks filled with goldfish. Obviously, they're the color of gold. Very lucky too. Aha! I quite like this stall. So over here, we have traditional handmade shoes and hats. So they're probably not the right size for me. You've got a little red bib for kids. These little tiger hats, also probably for kids. And these beautiful little cute shoes. Completely red, the color of good luck in China, and the tiger too is also auspicious. I don't think any of those come in adult sizes though. So actually, 咱们这有，哎你好，咱们这有大人能戴的帽子吗？现在没有，但是有些小孩的这种的。哦，这个也可以戴，这是小孩的。我能戴着试试吗？I think it's probably brighter than my hat, isn't it? 来，可以戴一下。这个老虎的寓意也比较好，它是辟邪保平安的。Okay, so the tiger is a symbol. I probably look ridiculous right now, don't I? The tiger is a symbol of protection. It's good luck, and it helps to ward off evil. So if you've got one of these on your noggin for the new year, you can't go wrong. But probably have to get it in a bigger size. 很好看，谢谢。这一块都手工的。哦，怪不得很精致，很精致。对，还有包括这些老虎鞋也特别好看。就是没有大人的好。但是呢，因为要是5、6岁以内的。对对对。Well, if you have a young child, a 5 or 6-year-old, I think this would make for a perfect spring festival gift. Why don't we continue moving this way? There's so much to see here in Gubei Water Town. And I'm just going to quickly put my hat on because it's quite cold. We are in the middle of winter right now. There's all sorts of decorations up right now. I've got these beautiful red lanterns. Lanterns, also a symbol of the new year. They're always put up on Spring Festival Eve and typically taken down about 15 days later at the end of Spring Festival on Lantern Festival. And also, for our viewers tuning in at home, make sure you can leave comments anytime you want. I'm just going to quickly take out my phone just to say hello to everyone who's watching us. It is very cold, but very festive. Great energy here, so I'm really happy that those of you who are turning in are able to share this with us. Just want to say hello to Abba, to Honda, to Bavesh and Greg, and to I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right. Imtiaz, did I pronounce that right? Ben. Greg, it's great to hear that you've been here before. Have you been to Gubei Water Town? Because this is, I guess it's not on the typical Beijing itinerary, isn't it? But it's about 2 hours drive away. If you do get another chance to come back, I highly recommend it. It's very nice here, especially in spring and summer and autumn, pretty much all year round, because it's meant to be a water town. And then when it's warmer, there'll be boats on the canals. It's very beautiful then. Over here, haven't even had time to eat my hawthorn. Over here, we've got a giant goldfish kite. Kiting actually is a very popular hobby in northern China. My director's actually just sticking his hands out saying, oh, well, if you don't want to eat your hawthorn, I can hold it for you. I've got my fix. So, kiting is also very popular in northern China. And I don't know if you know this, but both kites and lanterns in the past were strategic objects used during wars to send signals. So people would send kites, fly them in a specific pattern, and people would know what's going on the other side of the mountain. So all of these originated with very practical uses, and now they're just very beautiful decorations. Sorry, it's a bit crunchy, isn't it? Okay. Apologies for that interlude. I'll not eat anything more for a few minutes. So we're taking you through Gubei Water Town, and this was one of the main snack streets, and we're heading towards the main plaza now called the Sun and Moon Plaza. Lots of good food over there too. I'm just going to take this time to read your comments at home. You guys have been very, very active. Also want to say hello to Annabelle, to Marie, to Peter and Dina as well, to Bilal, Abayomi, good morning to you on the other side of the world, I guess. And Yesha, it is very nice here, isn't it? Very beautiful. And Nama, I'm doing very well. How are you doing? It's very cold right now. I wonder if it's warmer where you are. Isa, very good to see you as well. And Dusty, you said this city is a couple of hours outside Beijing. We're 2 hours outside Beijing, roughly in, let me get my direction right. I think it's the northeast of Beijing in a place called Miyan district. It's one of the outer lying districts of Beijing. Very easy to reach this place. There are public buses that come here on a daily basis. There's also a shuttle bus, or you can cab it here. It's slightly more, it's quite a bit more expensive, but it's definitely doable. It would be about $60 or so one way from central Beijing. But it's a nice ride up here. So many, many options if you want to visit Gubei Water Town. And right now I just want to take everyone this way. We're going to eat more food. There's so much good food on offer, and really, Chinese New Year, and just China in general, is about eating. You have to get to know China through its food, and there's so much variety here. This store, I think, just sells Peking duck, dim sum, We won't go in there, it'll take forever. As you can see, there are queues for everything. So you really need to be patient. Here they're selling the, what I was talking about earlier, Chinese burger. And look at that. Oh, salivating already. What is that, roast goose? No, roast chicken, roast duck, and barbecued pork. Wow. Oh, I had a big lunch, but now I'm getting hungry again. So we'll make our way this way, and I'll be looking at my phone quite often, so make sure to write in, say hello, and I will respond to you in real time. So we're gonna go up this bridge over there. I just want to say hello to Mary as well. Thank you for tuning in from the States, and to Rob, happy Chinese New Year as well. To MD Farhan, it's a very cool place, isn't it? I think they didn't, they put a lot of effort into building this place, because typically there are no water towns in the north of China just because it's so cold. There are lots of water towns in the south of China because traditionally waterways were very important transport links. But here, obviously, it gets so cold that the water just freezes over. So it just, practically, it didn't make much sense for there to be water towns. Look at that. So, as you can see, the water is frozen over. A couple days earlier, they actually had winter sports here. People could skate on the ice. Unfortunately, it's gotten a bit warmer these days, and the ice has started to melt from underneath. So they've removed all the activities. Otherwise, you could have seen me flailing about on the ice. But still, it's a pretty special sight here, and it also means that spring has arrived, because that literally is the Chinese name of Chinese New Year. In Chinese New Year is called Chunjie, which literally means spring festival. You're heralding a new season and a new year, the rebirth in spring. So we're going to head that way and get more to eat. I'm also just trying to, I'm not very good with directions. I get lost all the time, which is not a good trait to have when you're a travel presenter, but I do remember that we have to go up here, and just going to take this time to respond to a couple more of you watching at home. Ben, you say you've been to China once. Oh, that's fantastic. And yeah, it is amazing. There are so many different places in China. It's a very big country, and the cultures, the climates, everything is different depending on which part of the country you're in. And Panda Power, I like your name. I can tell that you do love pandas indeed. Xi'an is very cool. I actually personally have never been to Xi'an. One of our other presenters got to go on that trip. I was very jealous. But yes, there is a lot to see in China, and it's not just the usual suspects, not just pandas and terracotta army. Even in Beijing, there's so much to see. And in a way, due to everything that's happening, we've had to explore Beijing more than we normally do. And we found a lot of really nice surprises. I think we're going this way? I think we're going this way, yeah. And oh, Michael, thank you for the okay. Thank you for the compliment. I'm not a very good I'm not a very good tour guide in the sense that I can never find the correct direction that we should be heading in. But we've been here for a couple of days now. We did a live stream yesterday from Gubei Water Town, and kind of started to get my bearings. This is, I think, very beautiful. It's an ice sculpture, very cold, obviously. Just gonna, oh yes, definitely very cold. That's beautiful though. As you can tell, it's very cold here. It's about -8 Celsius during the day. and I don't even want to think about how cold it is at night. But we will be going up at night one of these days. Probably not for our live stream though, because it's quite dark. But this place is fantastic at night because we're literally right at the foot of the Great Wall. The Great Wall is, which direction is it? Great Wall is that away, I think. Anyway, you can see very clearly at night. The Great Wall is lit up at night, and you can also climb up the wall to see the Great Wall at night. I think it's a very unique experience. Definitely good for bringing a special someone. Valentine's Day was yesterday. If you guys tuned in at home, hopefully you learned how to make the lantern and the paper cutting for a very unique Valentine's Day gift. We're just leading you to this really cool, not really a sculpture, piece of art, I guess. This very cool, literally cool ice wall. I haven't even been here actually, so this is a treat for me. Look at that. Only in the north. Wow. Wow, that is incredible. Ice stalactites and stalagmites. I never know which one's which though. Let me know if you guys know if the stalactite is the one that comes down or it goes up. I'm not sure either. We've got some more ice sculptures that way, if you guys like to head over there. I wonder if any of our viewers at home have ever been all the way up to the northeast of China to a city called Harbin. Every year they have the annual Ice and Snow Festival, and they have these absolutely incredible ice and snow sculptures, giant temporary chapels of ice. Incredibly intricate. And I guess they have a small scale ice and snow festival here. We've got the snow sculptures and we've got these ice sculptures here too. So if you can't go that far up north to the northeast of China, just come to Beijing. We're just 2 hours outside and you get to see this ice sculpture too. This is even more beautiful at night. They've got all of these sculptures lit up with neons. Oh, Mike, and thank you for tuning in from Malaysia. Happy Chinese New Year to you as well. It must be a different feeling over there. It must be watching in your t-shirt, right? Cecile, yeah, I definitely would recommend if you get the chance to come back to China again. There's so much to see here. And we are literally right beneath the Great Wall too. This is a sculpture of the Great Wall. We're going to head up here now. Everything is made in a sort of traditional Ming and Qing dynasty architectural style here. So it's almost like you're on a little bit like you're on a movie set. It's kind of surreal here because about a couple centuries ago, this used to be a very important military campsite which guarded the Great Wall, but now it's sort of like a sort of traditional Chinese Disneyland where you can see lots of cool architecture and try out traditional crafts. We're going to head back this way. I'm getting lost, it's just my director telling me to go that way. I'm super lost. The place is absolutely huge though, and while we're making our way over there, just we get a chance to chat with everyone at home. Marcos asks if the food is good. Very, very good. I actually went out yesterday by myself after we finished filming, and I just went around getting all sorts of street food. I actually had a stomach ache because I ate so much. I got tofu wedges, kebabs, a hot potato, and not sure if you guys have heard of this before, but I also got a spicy and sour snail rice noodles. They're very popular in China. I don't know if it's a thing outside of China. Very spicy, very sour, very tasty. And Peter's, oh, hello from East Central Europe. Nice. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Chinese New Year to you as well. Are there any celebrations over there? Do you guys have a Chinatown, for example, where you're also able to take part in these sorts of festivities? And Ken, this place is actually relatively close to the Beijing Winter Olympics area. We're in the suburbs of Beijing right now, and about 2 hours drive away, but the Beijing Winter Olympics site is actually just pretty much next door in a neighboring district, so we're not far at all, about maybe 40 minutes to an hour's drive away. I actually don't drive, but everything's quite close. And Michael, definitely recommend you coming here. It is a very cool place to visit. Spring Festival here is great. Typically, we have temple fairs in Beijing, but this year everything's been closed, and so I guess that's why we have a lot more foot traffic here in Gubei Water Town, outside of Beijing. Albert, yes, very, very cold weather. My hands are frozen, they're frozen red, but it's okay. We'll get some nice hot drinks and hot food later on to warm ourselves up. And Keenus, thank you for, I do my best. So we're gonna make our way over here. Lots more to see, lots more to eat, mainly. And Arlen asks what the temperature is right now. Let me have a quick look. I wanted to say minus 14 or something, but it's actually just 1 degree Celsius. It makes me makes me a little bit embarrassed to call it cold, but we're near freezing point, so not too warm right now. And not that many people wearing red right now, but those of you at home might have seen a lot of people wearing red clothing, red hats, red scarves, just very festive. And at this place at night is just incredibly beautiful, very well lit up, and everyone's wearing red clothing. It's just incredibly festive. And it has, this water town has, I think, a very interesting layout. They have these specific quarters. You've got a food quarter, you've got a restaurant and hotel quarter, and it's meant to be laid out like a proper water town. So you also have a commercial quarter as well. I believe I made my way here last night as well. It just looked very different, but not to worry, we'll get there very soon. Nope. So we just have to watch out. A lot of people here, and if you're just tuning in, we're at a place called Gubei Water Town, about 2 hours northeast of Beijing, and everything here is designed very well in sort of Ming and Qing dynasty style architecture. The Ming and Qing dynasties were two of China's best known dynasties. The Qing dynasty was in fact the final dynasty of China, it ended about 100 years ago. Well, I guess Monica says that the weather in winter, this kind of temperature is acceptable, but yeah, I guess it's not too cold. And it gets better when you're walking around as well. When you're just standing around, the cold kind of seeps up through your feet. I'm actually wearing, I'm actually embarrassed to say I'm wearing 2 layers of socks and long johns. When you're standing around, it does get quite cold. Over here, we have a sort of entertainment plaza. On the left is a stage where they'll put up plays and opera, but that's at night, so we won't be able to show you that today. And on your right hand side is an ancestral hall, but we won't go up there today. There's it's kind of empty over there. What's this gentleman selling there? Lots of children's toys. Look at that. This is great. So I don't know if you guys have had a close look at what he's using. So what he's using here is basically a movable set of drawers. This thing in the middle is a bamboo pole, so he would put this whole setup on his shoulders and walk around town. It's not a permanent location that he set up here. we have a comment about the bridge. I think a lot of people like the bridge. It's a very beautiful arched bridge. In response to whether the bridge is new or not, it would be new. Gubei Water Town has been, it's not a real water town in the sense that very few water towns exist here in northern China. So this is sort of like an adult amusement park almost. It's a themed amusement park for people who want to experience the water town culture here in the north of the country. But you know, centuries ago, this was an actual military camp nearby the Great Wall, which protected Beijing from invasion. So historically, this place existed, but just not in the way you see it now. This was built after, and everything you see here was built much later, like maybe I think just a decade or so ago. But I think they've made it very convincing, haven't they? Especially in the morning and at night when there are far fewer people here. You're walking around, everything's deserted, there's no one here, and it just feels like a real water town. And you're expecting people to come out and send their kids to school. Hello Shaolin Jia from India, thank you for tuning in to our live stream, and also to Snowden Carla, thank you for tuning in. Happy year of the metal ox this year. 2021 is the metal element, and Swati, yes, everything is frozen. I feel like I'm frozen too. And speaking of frozen, this canal we actually well, I wasn't personally rowing down the canal, but when we were here in summer, this canal obviously was, you know, flowing with water, and boats were coming down it, and it was a very different experience to sit in a boat and see all of these buildings at a lower level. It was quite romantic actually, and it was just Valentine's Day yesterday too, wasn't it? I'm just going to take this time to reply to more of our viewers. Abdullah, oh, maybe you should get on Wi-Fi, see if you can get some Wi-Fi. And KST, happy Chinese New Year from Malaysia. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're also enjoying some time off during Spring Festival over in Malaysia as well. I'm sure it's much warmer over there compared to over here. And we're currently making our way throughout the alleys of Gubei Water Town. We're going to head to the main plaza, which is literally just through there. So if we'd like to walk that way, just got to watch the steps. Hello to you as well, Ashraf. And Monica, yeah, I agree. It looks very beautiful. I think they did a really good job with all these traditional architecture. And Maud, thank you. I can't do much about the English accent. I'll just have to you'll just have to make do with it. And I agree, Panda. This is a very cool place. Thanks, Michael. There's a lot of things to be discovered here, because they put a lot of time and effort into building this traditional water town, and they filled it with traditional Chinese handicrafts as well. This is a very beautiful gate here, and traditionally this would have been the gate that you would enter to get into town, but we're already here, so we're just going to head that way. Just want to show you guys this view. Amazing. Look at that. That is what you call festive. Yeah, Rima, I agree. You don't need to go to Beijing, you could just watch our live stream. We have another live stream from here tomorrow as well. But you should also come and experience it in person. It is definitely different. And thank you for your compliments as well, Elizabeth. Currently it's just coming up to 3 p.m. here, all in 7 p.m. over there in Melbourne. Oh wow! So have you had dinner already, or are you just sitting down to dinner to watch us eat all this delicious food? Because I'm definitely getting hungry watching everyone snack. This lady is eating kebabs. The others are eating 肉夹馍. That's Chinese burgers. We talked about that earlier. So this place is awesome. I love it. It's like a very big temple fair. Incredible energy here. I'm just going to tell you what's going on. We have these tables on the sides. There are charcoal stoves in the tables, so very well prepared so that tourists don't get their hands cold. In the middle here, we have this sort of really cool open-air kitchen where everyone's preparing all sorts of traditional snacks and foods. What you're looking at right now, this is called Noodles. It's an acquired taste. It's basically offal stew filled with pork intestines, lungs, heart, liver. Over here, this is smelly tofu. I actually quite like smelly tofu. A lot of people think it's kind of obviously smelly, but there is something to these pungent smells, and especially if you put a dusting of coriander on it. Oh, it's just the best. I love smelly, delicious food. Over here we've got even more food, and they're being kept in these really big vats. This one's empty, just because it's a very cold day today. As you can see, the queues are absolutely massive. Everyone's out for food. Let's see what they're offering here. What do they have? What do they have here? Okay, so here they have sort of, it's called char, basically skewers. But these are sort of stewed in a broth. Wow, that is definitely food for hungry people, isn't it? Gigantic slabs of meat, and they're mincing it up to make these Chinese burgers, the 肉夹馍. Rumor, I agree. I think it does look a little bit like wuxia setting, isn't it? It's a sort of traditional Chinese architecture. There are stores here where you can rent hanfu, these traditional Chinese robes that look super cool. And you have these headdresses too, and you could, I don't know, if you could rent like a sword too, or just do some kung fu moves. It's like you're inside a wuxia book or a wuxia movie. So we had a look over here. I think I'm going to get some stinky tofu, because you guys can't smell my breath. I can smell it, but that's fine. And it's so delicious. So I'm just gonna pop through here, wrap over to the other side. Luckily, they've prepared a bowl for me, so I don't have to queue. Otherwise, it's going to take ages. I'm just jumping the queue over here. S81, I know, I agree. The traditional architecture here is beautiful, and it really is worth protecting. There are actually a lot of craftspeople here who are considered intangible cultural heritage. Inheritance, it's a bit of a mouthful. Basically, they're craftspeople who have been making one craft for at least 4 generations. We filmed 2 of them yesterday, a lantern maker and a traditional paper cutting decoration maker. Very, very beautiful traditional handicrafts. Just going to grab some smelly tofu. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Let's see if... let me just grab them. Hey, oh, 谢谢. Oh, just gonna over here. Oh, sorry. 好嘞，谢谢，谢谢，谢谢. Oh, love it. Got myself a nice smelly bowl of smelly tofu. Oh, so pungent. It's a... How do I describe the smell? It's a little bit like when egg has gone off, but then you put some vinegar on it, and coriander, and that's basically what I'm going to eat now. No, it doesn't sound very palatable, but the pungency of the smelly tofu is quite unique, and that's good. I would say it's not smelly enough. The smelliest tofu, the kind where you're afraid of burping and you're afraid of smelling your breath afterwards, that's the best kind of tofu. This is, in comparison, like perfume. It's a little bit tame. That's okay. They've got plenty of food here. So this is the food court, essentially. And over here are all of the traditional handicrafts. So we'll just make our way over. But just wanted to, I'm sorry, we're back now. I think we had another signal problem. There are a lot of people here today. That might be the issue. So what you see right now, these incredibly colorful figurines, all of these are made of dough, like the dough that we can eat. This is a traditional Chinese kind of handicraft dough figurines, and you can see two craftspeople over there just making them. All of these colors are all edible colorings as well. These days they tend to add more ingredients like honey, herbs, and some preservatives, so these will keep for longer. But in the past, they were made of dough that we can eat, and they will go dry and they'll crack within 2-3 days. They'll go stale. So this is an incredible way of just being creative. You know, this year, a lot of us started baking and cooking at home, right? Making stuff out of dough. Why not try making dough figurines too? Well, if you don't have plasticine or Play-Doh, this is a great way to improvise. And as you can see, they've made all sorts of popular cartoon characters. We've got Captain America, Spider-Man, we've got Harry Potter over there, Batman and Iron Man. We've got traditional Chinese Peking opera figures as well. All of these are Peking opera performance actors and actresses. We've got some characters from Chinese cartoons over here. Who's that? I think that's Nojia. That's also a legendary Chinese cartoon character. And we'll wrap around. We've got so many things to show you all today. Ooh, looks like something's going on in the middle. Okay, so something's going on in the middle of the square here. Looks like some kind of, it's some kind of sporting competition. Oh, it's dodgeball. 小烟, a bunch of lamps. The lanterns. I'll have a last for you later on. They've got the lanterns come in big and small sizes. And Dusty, yeah, I agree. Those are some really big pieces of meat, weren't they? The Chinese hamburger is very tasty. I love eating it. And rumor, yeah, there was Peppa the Pig. And I think Peppa was wearing glasses. We're just spectating here right now because there seems to be a little sporting competition for for children. I wanted to take part earlier, but I think I'm a little bit too tall to take part in this game. And it's dodgeball, so I definitely would be at a massive disadvantage. I just want to take this time to say hello for our viewers at home. Martha, so you said you're at the frontier of Mexico, right, and the States, and that Chinese people say that you should eat noodles for good health. So it's really interesting that you bring it up. There's a specific kind of noodles that are very long, and they're called longevity noodles. People eat them for birthdays and they eat them during Spring Festival because long noodles that do not break symbolize you'll have a very long life. And so yes, you definitely should eat long, unbreakable noodles, al dente, during Chinese New Year. And in fact, anytime, because noodles are delicious, aren't they? I'm just trying to see if... not sure if there's a window of opportunity for me to take part in that today. They said that they would have a sporting competition and didn't realize there was a height restriction. Otherwise, my director would have got me to jump in that fray. The connection, for sure. I think in both Chinese and English culture, we are tea fanatics. I love drinking tea as well. I'm always drinking tea. And red is a very lucky color here, you're right. And definitely you should come here, visit China, come to Beijing, come to Gubei Water Town. Very festive today. And it's beautiful all throughout the season. Okay, that's enough of the sporting competition. Let's get in on the action. Over here we've got some more traditional Chinese handicrafts, and I really want to bring you guys to look at this particular stall. As you can see, it's very busy and with very good reason. Here they're making a traditional snack, a confectionery, and it's called sugar blowing, and you'll see why. Look at that. So let me just explain what's going on. The gentleman over there, he's the craftsman, and this little girl is holding on to a long thread of caramelized sugar. So the sugar is melted, and the reason why it's called sugar blowing is because you make what is essentially a straw and you blow in to this little wad of sugar to inflate it. And while it's still hot and pliable, he's able to mold it into whatever you like. I think what's great about this guy is that he's letting the customer blow on it himself. That's great, isn't it? That's fantastic. So I think he made a pig. That's great. And the little boy has lungs of steel. He's done very well. Just to take this time, we're waiting in line to get one for ourselves. Just want to say hello to Yong. Thank you. Appreciate you turning into our live stream as well. And Daniel, happy Chinese New Year to you as well. Suqing, this is a pretty. I think you probably meant to say cool. Yeah, it's very literally cool. It's very cold right now, but all of these things are very fun. And Martha, that's great. I didn't realize you also have a Chinese ultra at home. That's amazing. Baldev, hello to you as well. What is he making here? Oh wow, that's a cobra, isn't it? That's cool. Oh, okay, right. We've got a chance now to make our own. Okay, I'm just going to wrap around over here. 好嘞。哎，小朋友过来一下，谢谢。
这个什么？
哎。您这是您准备做什么呀？
啊，你想要个什么？
想要是今天牛年，那就来头牛吧，吹牛吧。哇哦，这个就是纯糖是吧？是哪种糖啊？
麦芽糖。
麦芽糖，
手工做的糖。
Wow, so this is maize sugar.
吹，往里吹气儿。
使劲吹吗？
啊，吹。
Okay, so
你听我指挥就行了。
Okay.
吹。停。吹。停。
Oh, we are synchronized here. He's telling me to.
吹。停。
He's telling me when to blow, when to stop.
吹。停。
哇，好快，这就完了是吗？
嗯，
太棒了。
再吹一下。
好。
好了。
Look at that! That is incredible. Oh wow! 好，谢谢您，这太棒了，真帅。而且就是几秒就吹出来了，是吧？That is fantastic. We've got a very long tail. 这个尾巴需要撅掉吗？好嘞，能吃吗？
能吃，你尝一下。
哦。Okay. That's delicious. 好，谢谢您哈。Oh wow, this is fantastic. I'm just gonna come over here. 我再过一下，谢谢。Oh, that is beautiful. I didn't want to stick over there for too long because he has a long queue of people waiting to get their zodiac animal. But isn't this incredible? Completely made out of sugar, and it's edible. And I was able to make it. Obviously, 90% of him. 99% was him. But let me know if there's any other animal that you'd like us to make, and I'll do my best to come back and ask him to make it for us. We made this, obviously it's the year of the ox. Ruma, thank you. This is pretty fun, isn't it? we do a travel show. Normally I host a travelogue on CGTN, but I do think this is particularly fun. And after we do all of these live streams, we are going to be putting out a show, a full 30-minute show on Gubei Water Town with all of these festivities too. So you should definitely watch that as well. And speaking of sugar and candy, so we've got this 3D sculpture here, and over here we have another form of sugar art. No? If not, then why don't we make a dragon? If that's okay with you guys, we'll make a dragon. Because we've got an ox already, so we'll be making a dragon here. So this is sugar painting. It's like this, but here it's 2D. And what he's doing is he's pouring caramelized sugar onto this metal surface. And before the sugar cools, he's drawing this very intricate pattern, and once it's cooled down he's able to just lift it off the surface with this sort of tool here. Oh. 所以这个不是一下就画下来，还得补好几次哈。
龙比较麻烦。
哦。
龙是里面唯一画2次的一个东西。
啊。您画这个唐画画了有多少年了？10多年了。哎呦。So this gentleman has been making sugar paintings for over a dozen years, and he's telling me that the dragon is the most difficult of the 12 zodiac animals to draw because he actually has to make it twice, whereas all of the other zodiac animals can be done in pretty much one pouring from the ladle. But still, that was very fast, wasn't it? I think he's done. Solidified. Now he's adding a stick. Wow. And voila! 太棒了，谢谢谢谢。哎呀，真棒！谢谢你啊，新年快乐！新年快乐。Okay, I feel like such a good right now. I've got an ox and a dragon. Wow, I've got all the luck this year. I've got little bits of candy floss just coming off the sugar dragon. You guys took too long. I asked if you wanted a specific zodiac animal, but I didn't get an immediate response. I know, it was too much to ask, right? So we went ahead and made the dragon for you instead. Here we actually have a... I think that's That's basically a puppet show, but we won't watch that today because you have to stick your face into it. Why don't we head that way now, and we'll show you the rest of Gubei Water Town. I feel like such a grown child with these sugar paintings. Really is an incredibly festive day today. If you ever come to China, to come to Gubei Water Town for Spring Festival, you must do it. So, okay, I want to take you somewhere special. I think we have to go that way. So, once we're all prepared, I believe we might have a bit of a signal interruption again. Are we back? Okay, let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see in particular. I have no more hands, actually. I'm just going to have to give these away again to our director, who's eating way too much today. Definitely got our sugar rushes, hey? Just need a bit of coffee now. I remember Ruma was saying everything looks like a wuxia setting. This really is so cool. Should definitely come here to... What's he done to this? This is not how you eat your sugar sculptures. Nobody does that in one gulp. Okay, I see why that happens. As you can see, it's very fragile, but it's literally sugar, so it's quite sweet. Definitely need a coffee after this to warm myself up as well. So we're just going to pass over another bridge. Lots of beautiful bridges here. Going to take the time again just to reconnect with all of you at home. Let us know what has been the highlight so far of this live stream, what you thought was really cool, what you maybe thought wasn't as cool, and if you've ever been here before. B Lotus, Chinese New Year and auspicious New Year. That's great. I love it. It's very punny. And Elizabeth, yes, I had definitely several sugar hits today. And obviously these sugar sculptures are most popular with children. So imagine, that's probably why all the kids are bouncing up and down here. They're all on sugar highs. Oh, it's a bit steep over here. Just tried to squeeze past. Okay, and we're back. There are a lot of people today. It's pretty packed, and now I'm just trying to figure out where to go. Is it that way or is it that way? That way. Okay, we're heading this way. So, obviously very cold here. It's right now almost 0 degrees. It's 1 degree Celsius, but it's still very cold. And the reason we're heading this way is there's something here that's one of my personal favorite attractions here in Gubei Water Town, and you'll see it soon. I would like to stay there for a while, but I'm not sure if we have the time to do that for the live stream. I won't tell you what it is because it's a surprise. We're not heading up there today, but if you walk all the way up these stairs, you'll reach a really tall hill with the church on top, where you have a really nice panorama of this town. We're heading this way now, and the reason is there's more food here. Alrighty, you can tell where people's priorities lie, can't you? All of the streets that are super packed are food streets. And the reason I've brought you here is because I have a couple personal favorites. The first one is right here. This is what we talked about earlier. This is called Lorsifen, which is, oh, I can smell it. It's spicy and sour water snails, my bad. Spicy and sour water snails, here. This is a nice hot steaming bowl of spicy and sour water snails with rice noodles. It's got a very particular smell. My cousin loves this thing, and her mum hates her for it because she always eats this and it stinks up the house. I believe these little, we've got some peanuts in here, we've got some crispy flakes, there's rice noodles, and I'm not quite sure where the snails are, but we've got some more wood ear fungus in here. Anyway, it's a very pungent combination. The queue here is huge, but I just want to show you, this is probably my all-time favorite street food here in Gubei Water Town. They're called Tofu Wedges. I know it might not sound that exciting, but I promise you they taste incredible. Just like these spicy and sour water snails. Let's see if we can. Internet persona, you're wondering whether China has anything like Valentine's Day. Yeah, we actually have several Valentine's Days. Yesterday we had a live stream from Gubei Water Town as well. That was Valentine's Day proper. But there's another Chinese Valentine's Day called Qixi. Thank you very much. 谢谢. And there's also another festival called Lantern Festival, which is the 15th day of the 15th day after spring. I haven't eaten it yet, and my director's like, give it to me. Well, okay. I've had it before. Oh wow, I'm being hand-fed. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Very spicy. Very good. Very nice and al dente. That was the spicy and sour water snail with rice noodles. This is tofu wedges. It's hot and peppery. There's a nice broth underneath. I'm not quite sure what's in it, but I know there's soy sauce, there's oyster sauce. It's wobbly. The tofu is very firm. Oh, beautiful. And there's onion underneath. We're just swapping dishes, and we'll head back down this way. There's one more street food. Oh, I'm being told that we don't have the street food anymore. Oh well, what a shame. Okay, well, it's okay. We've got two dishes already. We can't be too gluttonous, can we? So we'll head back down that way. But let me just take a bite first. I hope you guys enjoy watching me eat. This is a very messy dish, messy business. And I'm sorry for the slurping. There's not much you can do about that. Rice noodles are notoriously slippery. Beautiful. It's very hot too. So, sorry, very cold as well, so I just want a sip of the soup. Oh. That hits the spot. I love it. It's hot, it's sour, it's spicy. Oh, super pungent. My hands were freezing earlier, but now I've warmed right up. Okay, so this place is full of street food, and even though the queues are very long, if you come here, I highly implore you, it's worth the wait. As you can see, everyone Our team is like, oh, well, if you're not going to finish it, give it to us. Over here we have, I believe, those are turnip cakes. Turnip cakes are very tasty too. I don't believe they prepared one for me today, so we're not going to wait in that queue. That will take forever. But really, you get to know China through its food, and there are so many different kinds of dishes to try here. Even just here in Gubei Water Town. It's almost like you're experiencing queuing through me, isn't it? I grew up in the UK, and I enjoy a good queue. So I don't know about you, I find it fun to wait. But the reason that we're heading this way is I want to take you to one of my favorite places here in Gubei Water Town. It's just down this road. And honestly, this place is very Instagrammable, especially at night when everything is lit up with lanterns and neons. I saw a ton of people just sitting on this stairway yesterday. Let me know if that's something that you do as well, because there's no shame to posing for a good profile photo. Thank you, Elizabeth, for your compliments. I hope I'm introducing this place well to you guys at home. And Arlen says this place is full of fun. It definitely is. And I wish you were here for the Chinese New Year too. This place is happening. And I only found out about this place, I think, a year ago or 2 years ago, but it's actually been around Beijing for quite a while now. I just never took the time to visit all of and about. As a travel presenter, you're always traveling around the country, but you never explore your own home city. It's kind of ironic in a way. And Rumor asks if there are any alcoholic drinks like hot wines. I know what you're talking about. A nice mulled wine. I would love a nice mulled wine. I haven't found one yet, unfortunately. But they've got sweet potatoes. Don't know if that's your thing. This is what I wanted to show everyone. It is packed. There's no space. I believe we might be having some signal problems right now. Apologies for that. We'll try and fix the problem as soon as possible. The reason I brought everyone to this place is because, as you can see, everyone's rolled up their trousers and they've got their feet here in this pool. It's a hot spring. In fact, there's a ton of hot springs here in Gubei Water Town. And last night when I was walking around after we finished filming, I also came here and soaked my feet in the fountain. It's about 40-something degrees in there, absolutely perfect. And I was sitting here with a bowl of hot and sour snail noodles, and it was just absolutely the best. It's perfect for a winter day like today. A lot of people though, and no need to worry. It's very clean because there's a strong smell of chlorine in there, so you don't need to worry about any bacteria in there. No space though. I'll see if there's one over there. There are actually two pools, so we'll see if we can squeeze in over there. So we have two pools. That one's packed. Over here, ooh, just as packed. Kind of just have to wait your turn. I see a small opening over there. Maybe I could put my hands in. I'm not going to dip my feet in there just because I've got 2 layers of socks and 2 layers of trousers on, and it would just take forever. But I would like to warm my hands up. 哎，我能泡把手吗？哎，谢谢。Oh, that is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, who needs gloves when you can soak your hands in a hot spring? Ah, that is the best. It's about 40-something degrees in there. Ah. There's a strong smell of chlorine in there, so you don't need to worry about bacteria or anything. It's all good. And as soon as I got up, that seat was taken, so you can tell how popular this place is. And so I want to turn our attention to... So I also didn't realize at first glance, but this is actually sort of like an armory. It's sort of like a place to hire mercenaries. In the past, when people sent goods over a long distance, they needed to hire armed escorts, and this would be one of the places where you go to hire essentially mercenary guards to protect you from bandits. And the reason I've led you here today is because we want to go inside and send our wishes to a particular protective deity. Once we're ready, we'll head inside. But first, I just want to quickly check with those of us at home if there's anything particular that you thought was interesting in today's live stream. Let us know. And let us know if you realized what this place was. And if you want to soak your feet in those fountains, those are absolutely perfect. Right. So it looks like that we might have a bit of an opening. I could go and maybe soak my feet. I'll see if we can soak my feet in here. Because so I soaked my hands earlier. They felt very warm, and now my feet are screaming to be placed in a nice hot spring as well. Let me see if I can find a space. But yes, there's lots of hot springs here in Gubei Water Town. Lots of hot spring resorts here too. So even though it's winter and these surfaces of water are frozen, you can't sit around in the boats, but you can sit in the hot springs, which are best experienced in winter. In summer, who wants to sit in a hot pool of water? In summer, you want to actually go swimming, and you can sit in the boats in summer. So there's a different experience all year round. So let me see if we can find a space. There's not much space today, unfortunately. Okay, we'll head off that way. Right, we'll go over here and check out the mercenary station that we were talking about earlier. I think it's really interesting that this place, even though it's essentially a resort, but there's so much to learn and so many traditions and historical tidbits to learn and experience as well. So going inside, a lot of people will go to temples during Spring Festival, especially on the first day of Spring Festival, Chinese New Year Day. Today is the 4th day of Chinese New Year, but that's okay. Anytime during Chinese New Year you can go to a temple and hope to get blessings from the deities inside. And we're just having a look at these beautiful decorations. This, I believe, is a it's not a dragon, it's a Jilin, or I guess it's actually just pronounced Kailin in English. It has the head of a dragon, the body of, I believe it was a tiger? I'm a bit confused here, and cloven hoofs. So it's a mythical animal. So if you've got these Kailins guarding your front doorstep, then you are pretty VIP. I'm just going to step through now. And you've got to watch your step here. A lot of temples in China have these really high sort of doorsteps, and they have, I mean, there are many uses to them. On a practical point of view, they they would trip up robbers if they come in the middle of the night, because back then people didn't have electricity. They could just trip over these things. But also, the higher your doorstep, the higher your rank, the higher your level, and there were lots of rules in place regarding how high your doorstep could be. So when you come to China, definitely take a look at your feet and check out the doorsteps, how tall they are. We're going to head up here now. We're inside I guess it's a temple, the mercenary outpost where people would come to hire armed escorts for transporting their goods over long distances. So in here, this is the main hall that we want to visit. And visiting a temple is a must during Chinese New Year. It's really interesting too, because you'll see that we're passing through many layers essentially, and these were designed for a specific purpose. You're passing through realms, you're passing through specific gates, and this one here I believe is the first of 4. We'll just have a quick look around this place. It's very lush, all this dark mahogany. Pretty much a sort of a sofa slash bed, very common here in northern China. And over there we've got, what are they? Sort of like it's sort of like a sofa slash lounge, a chaise lounge, but it's interesting when you look at this sort of furniture, right? You kind of look at it and you're like, you don't know how exactly you're meant to sit. So people in the past, they didn't sit facing each other, they sat parallel to each other. So one person would sit on the left, one person would sit on the right, and they would kind of sit like this and talk like that, and with a table in between. So it's all kind of like quite proper. You're drinking tea, maybe pinky up, and 2 pipes there for smoking tobacco as well. Nasty habit, but that's what people did in the past. This was a hall for receiving people. So once we pass through this hall, we're going to go up to the next hall, climbing further and further higher. Aha. Wow. Evidently they did very good business in here. Very plush. And I love these lanterns. Yesterday we made lanterns, and we were told that there are 2 kinds of lanterns, decorative ones and ones that usually adorn imperial or official residences. And those, I believe, belong to the latter. They were made of wood, very elaborate, and very, very beautiful. So here we're in the 3rd yard, I think. Courtyard that we're passing through. Got to watch your step again. Wow. Imagine doing business in here. Okay. And we're heading out now, going this way. Right. I'm lost as always. It's quite difficult to... Surprisingly big, this place. Figure called Guan Yu. He was one of the most famous military generals of an era called the Three Kingdoms era, and he is a symbol of loyalty, of resilience, and he's known as the military god of wealth. So praying to him during Spring Festival will ensure that you have a prosperous and lucky start to this new year. And that's the end of today's live stream. Unfortunately, we do have another live stream tomorrow, but I hope that you've been able to enjoy our little tour of Gubei Water Town. Tune in again tomorrow, where we'll be showing you some very interesting food again that we'll be making ourselves here in Gubei Water Town. And to everyone watching at home, Happy Chinese New Year and Happy Year of the Ox. Wish you great fortune, wealth and prosperity.